alaikum guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Show Me the Market. My name is Sumaya Hussein. Now today we're just in Nairobi CBD. This is actually Kigali Road, and I'm here to visit Taqwa Sacco. Now Taqwa Sacco was the first Sharia compliant Sacco in Kenya back in 1998. Now today we're visiting the chairman, Dr. Ahmed Yusuf, and we're going to talk a bit about Islamic finance and at the same time learn more about Taqwa Sacco. So let's head inside. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Show Me the Market. My name is Sumaya Hussein. Now in today's episode we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. We'll discuss Islamic finance and at the same time feature an Islamic business that is the Taqwa Sacco. And joining me for the discussion today is the chairman of Taqwa Sacco, Dr. Ahmed Yusuf. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Taqwa was the first Sharia compliant Sacco in Kenya back from 1998. What does it mean to be Sharia compliant?
Sharia compliant means you are operating in an Islamic way. Operating in an Islamic way means that you don't accept riba and you don't give riba. So we operate completely in a non-riba environment. This is good for Muslims because they don't just want to look after their dunya, they also are very, very careful about their akhirah. That is why it's very, very important that we set this Sacco way back about 20 years ago to assist Muslims to be able to get loans and to save their money.
How does a Sacco like this get to be referred to as Sharia compliant? How do you get that label that you're Sharia compliant?
For us it was historical. Historical in that first of all we started just like an ordinary Sacco. We were just registered like any other Sacco in Kenya. But the bylaws of ordinary Saccos contain the element of interest. So when we first registered, we just neglected that. We cancelled all the places where in the bylaws there was the word interest. We cancelled it and we were operating in a non-interest environment. We were not taking interest or not giving interest. But later on, we pressed the government to be able to allow us to register us as a Sharia compliant Sacco. And they went and prepared a sample copy of a bylaw. They brought it to us, we studied it, we gave it to all our sheikhs to look at, the ulamas, and they satisfied themselves that that prototype bylaw was good for Muslims. So we resubmitted that to the government and they accepted it, and that was the first time a Sacco was allowed to operate as a Sharia compliant Sacco with government approval this time. No.
How does one operate a Sacco? How does it make money as a business?
Actually, we didn't start as a business. We started as a service to the community. Other Saccos charge interest and they make a lot of money, and they operate completely like a business. We started as a service to the community. We were all volunteers. We did not have any expenses because we didn't have an office, because we didn't want to pay rent. We worked from our own offices. We didn't have any employees because we could not pay salaries. So it was just on a voluntary basis. And without expenses, you don't need to make any profit. We operated like that for a number of years until we grew so much that it could not be done without an office. So we looked for a small office, started with a small office with one employee. That employee remained with us for a number of years. She's remembered very fondly by old members, they all know her. And she was the only one whom we could pay a salary. And a very, very small office, actually in Jamia Mosque. We operated like that for a number of years, but then we grew up and we had to have bigger offices, more employees, and then we worked on a model where we could pay the expenses without making a profit. So our members agreed that they pay a small amount for membership, and that amount was used for paying expenses like office rent, more employees, equipment, and so on and so forth. So that is how we started. And in fact, for almost 15 years, we operated like that. Then for the first time in this country, a Sharia-compliant Sacco qualified to become a FOSA. A FOSA is that you are licensed to operate like a bank. You know, an ordinary Sacco does not take deposits. Taking deposits means you cannot walk into a Sacco and say, I want to save my 10 shillings, 100 shillings, 200 shillings, and then come and withdraw it tomorrow. Ours is used to be a membership only Sacco, that is back office operations, and we were not taking any deposits. Now we qualified to start operating like a bank where we can take deposits. That means people can come, deposit their money, and withdraw their money. So we got registered as a FOSA, and there are about 7,000 to 8,000 SACCOs in this country, including ourselves. But only about 600, about 10% of them are registered to operate banking services. So it's a very unique operation which is allowed only to those SACCOs which qualify, and we qualified, alhamdulillah.
How was the response like for Muslims seeing that there was no other Sharia compliant institution like this, and then this comes up? So did people move from perhaps conventional banking to come to halal wealth, or was the response slow?
You know, SACCO started in this country a long time ago, and Muslims felt disadvantaged because they could see other communities were operating in SACCOs, and they were benefiting a lot, getting loans to buy shambas, to buy houses, to buy plots, to build homes, to start businesses, to improve their businesses. And Muslims were disadvantaged because those who were strict, they could not join that Sacco movement because of riba. So when we started, we were just a few members in my office, but immediately people knew about it. They really came in droves, and they started subscribing to membership because they saw that here is a Sacco which is unique, but peculiar to Muslims, and it served their interests for them not to enter into any riba. Now, we managed to attract members from Other organizations like the teachers, from the police, from the armed forces, they have their own SACCOs, but when they heard about Taqwa, they all came and joined us, alhamdulillah. So we've been growing at more than 30% every year.
MashaAllah, that's good. So how is it like today with Muslims? Because I know that right now conventional banking has increased, and obviously population has increased from how it was back then in 2000. So are Muslims now still coming for halal loaning, or are they still going back to the banks with interest?
Actually, you must differentiate between conventional banking and Taqwa Sacco. Sacco, as I said, is a membership where members save their money and then get loans. And we give loans 3 times the individual savings, whereas conventional banking, they will only give you loans according to the security that you provide. They'll not give you 3 times your security. In fact, they'll give you less than your security. So that is what we call BOSA. That is how we started. And for almost about 15 years, we operated like that. That's an ordinary SACCO. But as I told you, we are now also a FOSA. So when we got the FOSA license, we were allowed to operate like a bank. We can take deposits, and somebody can deposit their money and withdraw their money. It does not need membership. You can walk into this office, for example, when it is open, put your 1,000 shillings today. If you want your money back tomorrow, you can come and withdraw it, just like any other bank. So when we got registered as a FOSA about 5 years ago, we started giving the conventional Sharia compliant banks a run for their money.
So I read somewhere that you referred to your loans as Qadr al-Hasan. So what does that mean?
Qadr al-Hasan means in a friendly way. Friendly way means if you have a friend and somebody comes that person comes for a loan from you, you will give that person the money, and then if that person keeps the money for 1 month or 1 year, in 2 years, they'll come and pick up that money the way it was. So if it was 10 shillings, they pay back 10 shillings. 20 shillings, they pay back 20 shillings. So Qard Hasan means that it's free. There is no charge at all involved in that. So that's what we are doing, and that is different from conventional banking because they take profit. Whereas for us, our members get free loans. That is separate from our banking section, because as I said, 5 years ago we got licensed for doing banking. So the banking section now operates like any other bank. Someone can come, walk in, get a loan on security. We share the profit they get.
All right. Let's take a short break right now. Then when we come back, we discuss how one can be a member of Taqwa Sacco and a little bit more about halal wealth. So we're taking a short break here at Show Me the Market. Don't go too far. I'm here with the chairman, Ahmed Yusuf. We'll be right back shortly. Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to the program. My name is Sumaya Hussein. Today we're here at Taqwa Sacco. We're discussing Islamic finance and learning a bit about the Sacco. And I'm here with the chairman of the Sacco, Dr. Ahmed Yusuf. So before we took a break, we said we'd talk about how one can become a member. So what do I need to do to become a member of Taqwa?
You have to be over 18. You have to have 1,000 shillings and 200 shillings. So if you pay that amount, then you can become a member. Of course, we have to know our customers. That is a requirement by the government. So you have to have your ID, you have to have your other documentation so that we register you. You fill a form and you become a member. And then the following day you can start depositing your money. After 1 year of depositing, you can now get a loan. So if you have saved, say, about 200,000 shillings, you can apply for a loan 3 times that. And that is why the Sacco movement is so very popular, because you can get a loan without security. You can get a loan 3 times your savings. And that's why you find that Taqwa Sacco is very popular with people who want to save their money instead of keeping their money under the mattress or keeping it in somewhere else where there is riba. They bring it here and we service them. We help them to do all sorts of things, even emergency loans for payment of fees for school children. We also pay fees for our members if they want to further their education. So that's how you become a member. But you have to have the will to save. That is the most important thing. Taqwa is a Sacco, savings and credit. So it is first to save and then credit. People mistake and think that Sacco is where you can just go and the following day you get a loan. You have to have a culture of saving. So we want you to inculcate in yourself that culture for at least 12 months, and then you become a fully fledged member and you can get a loan.
So you can't take a loan before you become a member for a year?
Exactly. And that is our Sacco membership, if you want to become a member. However, Sacco members have a bank. They own a bank, and that bank is called FOSA. Once you become a member, you have to buy at least 1 share of our bank.
Right.
So you pay, I think, about 15,000 shillings for 1 share. You don't have to pay it at the same time. You can pay it in 1 year or more. But to become a fully fledged member, you have to have a 1 share of the bank. So the bank requires also that you put your money there, but that is different. You know, with BOSA, the membership, you become a member, you cannot withdraw your money. The money you put there, you can only take 3 times your savings as a loan, which is a big advantage. But you cannot withdraw the whole amount unless you cease to become a member. But in the bank, you can put your money and withdraw.
Does one have to be a Muslim to become a member?
No, you just have to be over 18, and if you have an identity card, you can become a member. However, we also have the Awlad account for children, so a member can already also enroll their kids to save for them for the future, for their future education and so on and so forth. But we have Muslims and non-Muslims as members.
So what is the process of repaying a loan? Is there any policy to that?
Yeah, there's a policy because we will not give you a loan unless, first of all, you have a guarantor. So members guarantee themselves. So if you want to take a loan of, say, 1 million shillings, you have to have someone who can guarantee that kind of money. Another member will do that. And that is the rule, and that's the law which is required by the government. But once you have got the guarantors and you have applied and you've got a good record means that you have been compliant, you have been paying your loans, and you have been a consistent saver. We don't want a person who comes with 2 million shillings today and then he disappears and goes for several months and then comes back and say, I want a loan. We will not give you. We will only give a loan to those people who even save, even if it is 1,000 shillings every month, but they must be consistent savers. You will appreciate that it is better to have somebody who is a consistent saver than somebody who will just come and say, okay, I'm depositing my money today and tomorrow I want a loan. We want good members who support the Sacco, and they are there for benefiting themselves legally and in an Islamic way.
Is there a fixed period that you're supposed to have repaid your loan before?
Yeah, we have about 3 years. We give our members about 3 years, but they can pay the money sooner. And in fact, most of our members pay faster so that they can get another loan. What they do is they take a loan and they pay quickly, and then they get another loan. So somebody who wants to build a house or improve on their business or start a business, they come, they get a loan, start a business, then they pay quickly, and then they come again after 1 year, get another loan and expand the business. That is how it goes.
All right, and what happens when someone can't pay their loan?
Defaulters are a major problem with any lending institution. There are some people who default for no reason of their own. Somebody will be in a job today, they join the Sacco, they get a loan, maybe they lose their job, or they get into some financial problems like medical fees and so on and so forth, which are beyond them or something like that. Now, those ones, we reschedule their loans and we talk to them and see how they can repay. But there are those who are defaulters by choice. Now, those ones are the enemies of financial institutions. And they're also the enemies of other Muslims, because the money is pulled together from other Muslims. And if you get 3 times your savings and you run away, first of all, you are not a good Muslim, because you have taken away the money of the Ummah, and we don't like that kind of people. So it's a major problem with any lending institutions. We keep on telling our members that we'll not send goons to your house and break your fingers like some lending people do, but we keep on following those people up as much as possible. It happens, but to a limited extent. Most of our members are very, very good and they pay.
All right. There are instances where you've forgiven, perhaps?
I would not like to say that we forgive, because in the Islamic way is that if you have a debt and say you die, for example, then your successors, your inheritors, you also inherit the loan. So we go the Islamic way. We cannot forgive somebody because they have taken somebody else's money. If we give you a loan, it will be money from me, from other members, and we give it to you to do something, and then you default and you don't pay back. How do we forgive you? It's not possible. We'll keep on following you up to your grave.
Okay. Apart from defaulters, what other challenges could you be facing in Taqwa?
As I said, there are members out there in the counties who have heard of Taqwa, kuna mkopo, kuna pesa ya bure. So they come expecting that they'll be given money and carrying a sack and disappear. We have a few of those kind of members. So they come in, and then after 1 year they find that things are not the way they had heard. Things are not the way they thought, and they move out of the circle. And this issue of understanding what our banking section and our membership section is, they also don't differentiate that. So we sit down with our members and try to explain to them what it is all about, so that they don't become disappointed after 1 year. Another major problem is that members find it difficult to find guarantors, because they want a loan too fast. Immediately after 1 year, somebody wants a loan. Now we say we want you to get into a culture of saving. So save for 2-3 years, or save even for 5, 6, 7 years, so that you can get a sufficient amount of money to get a big loan which can help you do something big, like building a house or buying a house or putting a deposit for an apartment or something like that. We don't want members to come to us with the idea of a loan. We want them to come with the idea of saving their money for the future when a problem arises. And then they can come to us and we help them. That is the best member.
You're very keen on saving.
Yes. It's important, because that is where the biggest misunderstanding of SACCOs is. However, if you don't want to keep on saving, because with saving we give you money without security, come to our banking section. Come with security, come with your title deed, come with your logbook, and we'll give you a loan. Come today with your logbook, and tomorrow you can walk away with the money. Yeah, it's not that easy, because it has got to be secured, but that is how it works with the banking section.
So there are some critics who say that the SACCO is not fully Islamic. So how would you counter that?
We have got a Sharia compliant committee with very prominent sheikhs who examine our operations, and they have satisfied themselves that this is a Sharia compliant operation. So there has not been one sheikh or one ulama who has come to Taqwa Sacco and said that here you are not Sharia compliant, here you are charging riba, or here you are taking riba. And in fact, some sheikhs have remarked out there that Taqwa Sacco is the most Islamic financial institution in this country.
That's good. I even saw you won an award for that in December 2016. Several awards. MashaAllah, that's good. So what is the future now of Taqwa as a Sharia compliant financial institution in the country?
We are growing very fast, alhamdulillah, and we're happy. In fact, just now we are like a child who has outgrown their clothes, and they're becoming bigger and bigger. So we have to get new clothes. So already we are looking for new premises where we can expand. We are also giving our members a lot of other services, like housing. There is a housing project. 200 of our members are benefiting from that. And a lot of our members are also benefiting from plots which we bought for them. We buy a big plot and then we subdivide and give them quarter acres. And some of them have already started developing their plots. So Alhamdulillah, the future is very bright, not only for Taqwa Sacco, but for the members. And you know, the bank is making profit, so we are also looking forward to sharing the profit with our members. We haven't done that before because we are replowing back our profits into our operations. So we are now ready to share profits with our members of the banking section, not the Bosa section. Yeah.
Okay. So sharing out the profit, it's gonna be like interest.
No, profit and interest is different. If you ask any Sharia expert, they'll tell you that we don't sell money. We agree on buying a commodity. So if you come to our banking section, we will not give you money, cash. We'll ask you, what do you want to do with the money? I want to buy a car. So we'll buy the car for you, just like these other 3 banks which are there, the Islamic banks. We'll buy the car for you, and then we share the profit of the purchase of the car. If we buy a house for you, we share the profit of the house for you. So that's not riba. That is a sharing profit that's allowed in Islam. It is just business. Business is allowed, and it's different from riba.
All right, thank you, Doc. We've actually come to the end of the program. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you very much. I wish we could have talked much more. There's a lot to talk about, but thank you very much. It was very, very useful, and my pleasure.
All right, thank you too. We've come to the end of the program. This is Show Me the Market. We've discussed some bit about Islamic finance, and just as the doc has said, there's still much more coming ahead, much more to discuss, but for now we'll have to end the show here. My name is Sumaya Hussein, and thank you for staying with me.